Dads are amazing people, and they are a crucial part of a child's development. Today, we are going to talk about the impact I see my husband having on our children and how you can support your man on this crazy parenting journey.
Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not so secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom.
If you want a space to help you prioritize your time, make connections, and grow in your faith, I want to invite you to join my private Facebook group, Prioritize Your Time for Busy Christian Moms. There are weekly posts to help you grow, to help you connect with other moms, as well as prompts to help you think and explore different ways of doing things that you may or may not have ever thought of, with the option to share what you find to help other moms grow. Motherhood does not have to be isolating, but we often make it that way. So I would encourage you to come and join the group and start connecting. You can join at bit.ly/time for mom community, and there is a link in the show notes. If you've been around Time for Mom for any amount of time, you know that I love my husband. I think he's an amazing guy, and God has given him a lot of talents, and he's also been through a lot of stuff, and that stuff just seems to not end. In the admiration that I have for my husband, I want to focus in on the amazing things that he does as a father, because it is different than what he does as a husband. One of the most interesting things that I have found is how much better our children respond to discipline from my husband. My husband's name is Eric, so if you hear me slip and say Eric, I'm talking about my husband. It is the weirdest thing. I can discipline our kids, but they respond the best with my husband, and I have no idea why. Now, that is not to say that I am excused from disciplining our kids, because I am absolutely not. My children need discipline from their mother, not just their father, but there are times when they do need discipline from their father. Another thing that I have loved watching is how much spending time with their daddy helps them. We are a quality time family. We just are. Our youngest might not be quality time as her primary love language, but we do spend a ton of time together because we can't be traditionally employed due to health problems. So that means our family dynamic looks a little different than a lot of people out there. We are either home together or we are away together for the most part. And when my kids get to have the opportunity to go and do things with daddy one-on-one, they just shine. They love it. My husband has a business he started with my father, and sometimes he gets to take the girls along and they get to sit and watch and play and get dirty or fall asleep where he's working at. And those daddy-daughter times at this early development stage is something that they desperately need. And I can see them just glow when they get to go with daddy. Another aspect of the daddy-child, or in our case, daddy-daughter dynamic, is how much he can be the wise mentor that for whatever reason, mommy isn't. Mommy tries. I do try to be the wise mentor, but it doesn't necessarily happen. They need the voice of their father to tell them things. I can tell them the same thing, and they're not going to hear it the same way as they will from their dad. And vice versa, honestly. My husband can say something, and then I'll say the same thing and they get it. And he's like, why? I don't know. It's just they were ready to hear it, I guess. Another thing is that they seem to think that mommy can do everything. Whatever mommy can't do, they just know that their daddy can, which is really fun to watch them go up to him and ask in their little voices to do something that I can't do. For one reason or the other, I'm not able to. Another thing that I love is a lot of times Eric will be making breakfast for our family. I have struggled with making breakfast to the point that we taught our 6-year-old to make her own breakfast so she can cook her own eggs, turn the stove on, turn it off. She's doing great. She's started salting her own things, which is scary, but she's learning. And They love it when daddy makes pancakes. Dad to them makes the best pancakes and waffles ever. And considering we are doing it from scratch with our own gluten-free flour blend, that is saying something. I mean, that's some cooking skills right there. And the thing that just throws my kids for a loop, because they like their routines, they have their regiments, they have things that go this way, and this way. But mom and dad don't do things the same way. My husband does things his way because that's how he needs to do it to get it done. And mommy does it a different way, but he still gets the results. And it just throws my kids for a loop when they expect daddy to do it the way mommy does, and he doesn't, but he still gets the results. And it's so much fun to watch them just try to figure out how you can get the same results different ways. So it stretches their brains, and it's really good. And these are just a few things that I've watched my husband do with our kids and the effect that he has on them. How can we as moms and wives support our husbands? Because daddies are super, super important, but dads also have a lot of pressure to be that all the time provider, and they don't often get the time that they want to have with their kids or that their kids think they need to have. So how can we support our husbands? One of the biggest things that we can do as wives is to absolutely not undermine what our husbands tell our children. It is super easy to say the opposite of what daddy says, especially when our darling little angels decide to try and pit us against each other, which if your kid is over the age of probably 1, they have done. Don't undermine what your husband says. Our rule is whoever says it first, that's the rule that we're going to go with. And our kids know that. We'll tell them, what did daddy say? Okay, you shouldn't be asking me. That's what we're going to go with. If you don't agree with your husband, which can happen, will happen, is going to happen, I did not anticipate how much this would happen with raising our children, but it's happened a lot. Don't have those discussions in front of your kids. Discuss it in private. If you and your husband are struggling to agree with how to guide, grow, and discipline your kids, make sure you're doing it in private, because otherwise you are inviting your children to question your husband's authority. Always treat your husband with respect in front of your kids. It can be tempting to sass your husband, but honestly, little kids aren't old enough to know what playfulness is. They see that and they will imitate that because they can and they will. That's just what kids do. Try to make sure you're being respectful to your husband. Let your husband dad his way, not yours. We have discovered that mommy does things her way and daddy does things his way. And it has taken me a long time, and I still struggle with this. When I ask my husband to do something, I have to let go of not only my methods, but my timeline. I have to trust that my husband will do things in his way, in his time, as he's able. So let go of that control and let your husband do things his way. And the final thing that really will help your husband be the dad that your children need is make room for marital intimacy. It is crucial for the health of your marriage. It is crucial for his well-being in so many ways. Your husband needs intimacy, and I argue that you do too, whether you think so or not. Marital intimacy is there for a reason. God made it for a reason, and you have to make time for it. If you don't, your marriage will fall apart. It's easy to discount intimacy as a perk of marriage, but while it is also a necessary part of marriage. So in this journey of motherhood and parenting together with your husband, make sure you're making room for that intimacy. Your husband will appreciate it so much. All right, we're going to end on that note today. And I would absolutely love to hear your takeaway and to maybe even see your face. So come on over and join the Prioritize Your Time for Busy Mom Facebook group at bit.ly/time for mom. Until next week, mamas. Bye.
Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who is wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with his peace.